Hey, it's Markley, and this is the Season 8 premiere of Low Profile. This season is going to be coming at you every Friday for the next couple months, and it's all pretty fresh stuff. Right now, we're in the middle of Scherler Sundays, a weekly concert and interview series hosted by Magnets Brewing in downtown Olympia. If you're in the area, it'd be great to see you there every Sunday at 3 p.m. through August 13th of 2023. This is the first one, recorded back on June 18th. First up, it's a puppet theater troupe from Arcata, California, called the Kinetic Paranormal Society. Unfortunately, there were some technical difficulties with the recording of their performance, and it just didn't turn out, but we did manage to get a good recording of my interview with Bartleby, one of the puppets. You can hear their scripted podcast wherever you're hearing this. Just look for the Kinetic Paranormal Society podcast. Okay, after that, it's a performance from Your Heart Breaks, the long-term project of musician, filmmaker, and visual artist Clyde Peterson. We'll be talking with him about his new documentary about the band Earth and his new Your Heart Breaks album, The Wrack Line, out now on Kill Rock Stars Records. Finally, we'll have a set from our friends Elf Power, who drove out west from Athens, Georgia, to play a show in the freezing rain.
Let's get kinetic. Kinetic Paranormal Society. We have a wardrobe, a magical wardrobe. It travels through space, it travels through time, it travels through multiple dimensions. Fairies, werewolves, vampires, dragons, ghosts, and aliens. Let's get kinetic. No. Kinetic Paranormal Society. No!
And I was wondering if anybody in the audience had any questions for Bartleby here.
Well, I don't really have any questions.
She's got it all figured out.
Okay, how about you? Do you need to know anything? You there. You look like you got a burning question.
I ain't saying nothing.
You can ask about anything.
I can solve it all. Got a relationship issue? Bring it forward. Pretend it's like asking for a friend.
Well, I was wondering what the most practical usage of a black hole might be.
It's a really good recycling system. You need to recycle the energy in the universe, and you can just throw them in there, and you can reuse it. It comes out and gets reused elsewhere.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was a pretty straightforward one.
All right.
I do better on the metaphysical ones. They're more far out.
All right, we have another audience question here. What's your name?
I am Rowan. What is the meaning of life?
Oh, that's one of my favorite questions because it comes in, and it's actually in my first episode of our podcast, Metacosmos. What is the Metacosmos? We cover that one. Not to plug my show, but we do cover it, and it depends on what book you're reading, because whatever book you're reading has a different meaning of life. So if you're reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it's 42. If you're reading Dune, sorry, spoilers, everybody. If you're reading Dune, Frank Herbert said that the meaning of life is more of an experience to have instead of a question to ask. So that's if you're reading Dune. It depends on what book you're reading. And so there's a lot of old books that are really popular, and people take meaning from that, but they're really cryptic, and I recommend you read the notes and the margins on those.
How do you like your burger?
How do I like my burger? I like my burger imaginary, like I like my stomach.
Well played. Felix, what do you need to say?
How good.
All right. Thank you for that. One more.
When is the universe gonna end?
We recently had this question asked, and we covered it, and we were talking about how it had the ends constantly. Versions of the universe are perpetual, ending and beginning at every given moment. And when each of us find the end of our particular bodies and that's its own universe ending. And you would never know if the universe went on after you anyway, so you might as well assume that's the end of your universe and go with that and make it mean something by making your life mean something. By joining your community! So get involved. Like, make yourself vulnerable with a sock for the brief moment that you found yourself talking to a sentient sock. This is a rare opportunity. Don't tell me this happens every day. I know you're lying.
Do you sleep in a boot?
In a boot?
Yeah.
I block out most of my inside of shoe and on feet memories.
Okay, you've moved on from that time.
I prefer to think about my life as a paranormal investigator. I'm a professional paranormal investigator and metaphysicist.
Very good. Okay, but I mean, does your sock identity still surface in your day-to-day?
Well, yeah, I relate to socks in that I make lots of puns about socks.
Yeah, you got to stay true to your roots, you know?
Yeah, I stay close to your soul.
Indeed.
Okay, recently I fixed Star Wars. I figured out that Star Wars was broken and I fixed it.
Oh, that's right.
Because it turns out, like George Lucas was like, oh, the Jedi aren't allowed to fall in love. And that's bogus, because none of us ever chose to fall in love, and we all love our mothers. And it was really bad news. It's like, oh, you don't get to be a Jedi because you love people already. Too late for you. Boo, 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 doo. And that's not true, because I've started a new sect of the Jedi, not the light or the dark or none of that gray business, because morality can't be gray. It's the Rainbow Jedi. And the Rainbow Jedi, we are allowed to love. We forgive ourselves for the people we love, and we forgive them for not being perfect, because they never are. And forget all that other stuff. New Rainbow Jedi. And it's not really, it's because Lucas was divorcing his wife while doing Temple of Doom. He went through some rough roads, and then he thought, oh, if only you could not fall in love. Wouldn't that be a superpower? And that's where we all got led astray.
Well, thank you for fixing that issue.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
That's what paranormal investigation looks like on the ground. When you're out here on the streets working hard for people who have hurt childhood memories.
So before we go, do you want to just let everyone know about where they can find more of your stories?
Oh, KineticParanormalSociety.com. And then we have the Kinetic Paranormal Society podcast.
No, do not listen to that podcast.
Artemis, this is not the time for this. This is a moment where we can shine.
I'd rather not shine there.
Well, thank you for doing the good work that you do.
Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
As a fellow paranormal investigator, that really means something to me.
All right.
Yeah. You're
get a little.
Please. Okay. Thank you all so much. We're the Kinetic Paranormal Society. That's Ruth Jensen, Jeff Jensen, Emerson Archipelago, Isaac Bluefoot, and the rest of us are a bunch of puppets or socks or whatever. And so I'll just skip the names. Bye-bye.
And coming up next, a performance from Your Heart Breaks. They got a new album out on Kill Rock Stars, and this is the first day you can buy it. They got that right over there at the table. And then, after that, Elf Power, all the way from Athens, Georgia. So don't miss it. Thank you all so much for being here.
Are we cool to play songs? All right. Thank you for coming to this show. I'm so excited to see Elf Power play. I haven't played in Olympia in like 4 or 5 years. I'm totally gonna barf. It's terrifying. I've only played 2 shows in the past 3 years, and one was like horrible. It was like sold out at the Tractor, and like 400 people just talked over me, and I was like, I want to be dead right now. It was crazy. It's crazy to play in a quiet band at a bar, you know? Like, people are just like, I'm going to fucking talk over you like a motherfucker, even though it's been a pandemic and you haven't worked in 3 years. But I also played a show at my friend Gabby's garage on Guaymas Island for like 10 people, and that was like the best show I ever played in my life. All my neighbors were so curious. They were like, who the fuck are you and what are you doing? And they'd never been to a garage show before because they're all retired and like hyper normal. It's an interesting thing too. Hyper normalized humans. Okay, I have this new record. I've never played any of these songs in front of people. I wrote them with a lot of different friends over the internet over the past 3 years. And this is a song called Snow Dusted Ponies, and it's about visiting the author Ivan Coyote in the Yukon in January for a show at the Arts Center, and just like having my mind blown by like being up by Alaska in Whitehorse, Yukon, and negative 40 fucking, you can't be outside for more than like 3 minutes. I almost got like lost looking for a jerky house, a house that sold jerky, and I was like, I'm gonna have to abandon this mission. But I did find the moose jerky. This is the story. And when I got to town, I got off the plane, and Ivan was like, the first thing he was like, indica or sativa? And I was like, okay. And then he was like, you're getting a tattoo from my cousin. Here we traced all the tracks and the treads of your teens. Felt the wind on your face as you skated the sheet. Here we followed a fox as it danced in high beams. Watched the sun crack the sky behind a snow-covered peak. Here you howled at the top of your lungs as we flew up the side of the mountain to the overlook view, where I held on white-knuckled, scared to open my eyes. It took us all ratting for the very first time, and I understood what you were trying to say about life in a northern town and the way it could hold you, haunt you, live in your veins. It keep coming back 'cause it whispers your name. Yeah, I understood what you were trying to say about life in a northern town and the way it could hold you, haunt you, live in the veins. It keep coming back when it whispers your name. Here you pace the floor like a caged wild beast. Here you look to the sky and just long to be free. Here you dreamt of a city by the shores of the sea. You counted the days till you could finally leave. Here stood a ghost of a feeling you knew, that somewhere out there were others like you. Yeah, you escaped, but were you ever free? 'Cause all roads lead back to the first memories, to the sound of fresh snow as it cracked under feet, or the ravens who huddle on the lampposts for heat, or the snow-dusted ponies on the side of the road, searching for the fresh glass that's 40 below, for the feel of the word when you say family, for the feelings you had to hold your history, for the love letters written, to the hurt, to the fear, to the way you always say just what I need to hear. And I understood what you were trying to say about life in a northern town and the way that hold you, haunt you, live in the veins. You keep coming back when it whispers your name. Yeah, I understood what you were trying to say about life in a northern town and the way that hold you, haunt you, live in the veins. You keep coming back when it whispers your name. Thanks. Woo. Thanks, you guys. Okay, woo. I covered all these songs, so that song has John K. Samson and Christine Fellows on it, and they're slamming. I feel like a lot of people know John K. Samson from the Weakerthans and Propaganda, but Christine Fellows is his like unsung partner who like writes incredible records and is an amazing musician on her own, and we like wrote that song together because they're buddies with Ivan too. And I got a bunch of Canadians to play on that song, trying to conceptually build the track. You know, if you're not from Canada, you can't play on the track. Okay, this one's called Peter and David. It's about Peter Hujar and David Wojnarowicz and their friendship through New York in the 80s. And they were wonderful artists, and both died of AIDS and were punks and freaks and weirdos. And this is about their adventures. Peter and David on Avenue A, headed for the Lower East Side. Cigarettes, coffee, cannery, spray paint, a stencil of a house on fire. sun was just setting, the men were just waking. Manhattan skyline, city unfolding, and up all night, every night. There they search for Saint Sebastian. Up all night, every night. There they search for Saint Sebastian. Home so unforgiving, each with his own reason to set out from the suburbs for grey and gritty pastures. A third shift busboy, the backbeat of the bass drum. Men who look at you like they own your every atom. Man, up all night, every night. There they search for Saint Sebastian. Up all night, every night. There they search for Saint Sebastian. Oh, for just one night to stand within your presence, to wander through the piers, to get lost in your darkness, to weave between the hustlers, queens in the trade. Feel the fire in your belly as you set the world ablaze. Oh, for just one night to stand within your presence, wander through the piers, to get lost in your darkness, weave between the hustlers, queens in the trade. Feel the fire in your belly as you set the world ablaze. Up all night, every night. There they search for Saint Sebastian. Up all night, every night. There they search for Saint Sebastian. Thanks. I'm gonna try to play this one for Elf Power. Me and Madeline wrote this song. Madeline's a much stronger singer than I am, so I let her take the lead on the record. But then I'm like stuck singing it, and I'm like, you were never really mine. I was never really yours. We sang together for a time, shared a chorus but a verse. Oh, at night it was a dream, the whole world would slip away. But tell me now, what is there to hold on to when the sun comes up? We step off the stage, slowly like strangers, we slipped into silence like most lost lovers went our separate ways, lovelorn and seeking some sort of solace, reviewing the wreckage, recounting the ways. We were victims of sirens singing some old tune long overplayed, crashed into the rocks together, holding each other, sinking from the weight. I was never really yours, you were never really mine. Now that an ocean divides us, I can feel you fading with the sands of time. Slowly like strangers, we slipped into silence. Like most lost lovers, we went our separate ways, seasick and seeking some sort of solace, lost in these loves we were bound to betray. Slowly like strangers, we slipped into silence. Like most lost lovers, we went our separate ways, lovelorn and seeking some sort of solace, reviewing the wreckage, recounting the ways. Whew. There's like a 7-minute fade on that song on the record where Madeline sings over and over, like 16 parts, but I'm not a singer like that. So I kind of like how you can have this and that. All right. This is the last song on the record. It's called Where Rejects Rain. Well, I searched for myself as I pored over pages of mandate and rough trade, the old magazines. Instead, what I found was a fire of fury, an anger that grew with the sure certainty that no time and no place exists in this life where a body like mine could truly be free. So I drag and I swish through the dangers untold. I dream in XXX theater late night picture shows, where the lonely and lustful and rejected reign, where the shadow meets shadow in dark alleyway. I say, show me a sign, show me a sin, or set me free from this earthly burden. When I'm dust, let the test pattern play, let the signal go static in a long slow fade. Meet me in shadow or meet me in memory. Meet me across the river where I am free. Studied each John and I prayed to divine. I walked the path of all the elders similarly inclined. I found the price of living in the somewhere in between is the loneliness that comes with never truly being seen. But the road is long. Who needs sleep when I got miles to go before I dream? When I'm dust, let the test pattern play, let the signal go static in a long slow fade. Meet me in shadow or meet me in memory. Meet me across the river where I am free. When I'm dust, let the test pattern play, let the signal go static in a long slow fade. Meet me in shadow or meet me in memory. Meet me across the river where I am free. My band's called Your Heartbreaks. Thanks so much for coming to the show. Elf Power. I feel we're really lucky, you guys. Like, Elf Power, they come from so far away. And we're so lucky they drove here to play music for us. If you haven't seen the Elephant Six documentary yet, it's circling film festivals, and it's quite wonderful. It's full of like lots of old footage, and it's very heartwarming. There's not too many talking heads, which I find refreshing. You know.
Hey, is it okay if I ask, or if we talk about some stuff real quick?
Let's chat.
There's a lot to talk about.
Church chat.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
The Wrack Line is the name of the new album.
It is.
It's the first on Kill Rock Stars for you, right?
It is.
And how did that go down?
I was trying to get on that record label for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, hey, put out my record. And they were like, no. And then I was sitting in my house in 2020, and then this email came in my inbox from Slim, and it was like, the subject just said, are you looking for a label? And then there was no words in the email. And I was like, are you talking to me?
How
I wrote back.
How old is Slim Moon that he's putting the entire email in the subject line?
I think it says a lot. Yeah, he just straight to the point. And so that's what happened. It was wild.
It sounds, I mean, you know, it's a long climb up that mountain, but
it was a long
the way it
climb.
worked out, pretty lickety split then.
Yeah, then it was like, oh, I better write songs because I had quit playing music, and I wrote 20 songs, and we recorded 19 of them with members of Lake and KP from Black Belt Eagle Scout on the drums.
I love
she
those
shreds
guys.
it.
Yeah.
She shreds it hard. Yeah.
Sweet. The title, The Wrack Line.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that. Can you
Yes.
explain?
Okay, this is a great education for all Northwesterners. We live near the beaches. We have the ocean by us, and the waves come up on the shore. And the area between the wave and the rack line. The rack line is where all the things accumulate. You find the prizes, the seaweed, the stuff like treasures from sunken ships. And in between that is the swash zone. That's the technical term for it.
Swash.
Yeah, we're all in the swash zone when we're walking along the waves. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the wreck line. It's like
that's
not
like
a
where all
very
the
common
frothy
phrase.
stuff is.
Yeah, the swash. It's where the wave comes in and leaves. The wreck line's like the seaweed and the garbage that we put in our ocean.
Do you have a background in marine biology by any chance?
No, I googled the beach diagram.
Killer.
And learned about the swash zone. I already knew about the wreck line for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you hadn't been recording or writing in a while, but you have a pretty good excuse for that.
I mean,
you're a filmmaker.
I also, I make films and art shows and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of stuff.
You want to talk about this film that's making the festival circuit and coming our way real soon?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be in this town. I made a movie about the band Earth that is from this town. When I was driving to town and the storm was hitting, I put on some Earth and I was like, this feels right. I made a documentary with the band Earth for 5 years, and it should be coming to your theater someday. But it's touring the world right now with the Elephant Six documentary. They're like film festival friends.
Nice.
It's very sweet.
And it's got its own unique soundtrack as well.
Yeah, the band made a whole new soundtrack to it to avoid legal issues with record labels.
Did you play any music in the film?
I didn't.
You're just the man behind the movie camera.
Yeah.
Killer.
Just filmed it. I made them do a lot of ridiculous things. Take rowboats with guitars for oars out into lakes and just all kinds of bullshit. It was fun.
This isn't your first feature film.
No, it's my second.
Yeah.
I'm working on a third.
Really? Okay.
It's truly addictive and horrible, and it ruins my life, but I enjoy it.
Your first film is fantastic. It's called Torrey Pines.
Yeah, it's free on the internet. You can watch it online.
Handmade animation.
Yeah.
I reckon that must have taken about 15 years.
It took 3. Strangely, I thought the live action film would be faster. It was not.
And am I correct in assuming that film is somewhat autobiographical?
Yeah, Torrey Pines is very autobiographical.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well as the Earth film, it's very biographical.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the facts, nothing but the facts.
Cool. Nonfiction.
Nonfiction, it's where it's at.
What's the new film?
Oh, it's about gay cruising in Seattle.
All right.
And it's called Our Forbidden Country. I have 10 minutes of it done. It's based on like oral history interviews from like lots of people who are interviewed about the Seattle before the HIV and AIDS pandemic. Yeah.
Okay.
Seattle used to be just like this like dirt bag panorama for sailors and gay people downtown. It was like amazing. There was a whole neighborhood that was just like bikers and new wave punks and queers. So it's been erased, but I'm kind of trying to get some of that back.
And you're from Seattle?
I grew up in Seattle and San Diego, yeah.
Seattle and San Diego?
Yeah, mostly Seattle, though.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I want to live in, like, Miami. That's my dream. I'm a sun guy, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think you can get there.
I'm trying.
I believe in it. I believe in you.
It might sink. It might sink before I get there.
What was the most mind-blowing collab for the Wrack Line? Who did you expect a no from anybody?
That's a good question. I feel like it was exciting to have a yes from John K. Simpson. I'm not gonna lie. I mostly listen to the Weakerthans. I don't know. People are like, well, what do you listen to? I'm just like, the Weakerthans. I've listened to other music. But it was cool, and it was really great to talk with Christine Fellows about lyric writing, because I really admire her writing. So yeah, she has a new record that's incredible on Bandcamp.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Killer.
Yeah, and it was really great to work with David Christian too from Comet Gain. Like, I had to make him redo the vocals like 10 times. I felt horrible, but his mic was really fucked up. It was kind of brutal.
Man.
But he pushed through.
Well, I'm glad your Heartbreaks is having adventures again.
Thanks.
Clyde, thank you so much.
Thanks for doing all this work. Thanks, everybody, for running sound. This is a massive production, if you don't know it. So
I
thanks
heard.
for coming out.
Down in the very center, on the inside of the world, you can hear the electric highways. We could speak in imaginary words, and we'll see you where the memories go. Oh, the tar blazing, the herds gently grazing. Looking up, you find the bottoms of oceans sinking down all over you. The water seems so clear in the morning. Looking up, it's like a sky of blue, and we'll see you where the memories go. All the tar blazing, the herds gently grazing. I don't mind, oh I don't mind the separating fall. I don't mind, oh I don't mind the separating fall. Deep down in the very center, on the inside of the world, you can hear the electric highways. We could speak in imaginary words, and we'll see you where the memories go. Oh, the tar blazing, the herds gently grazing. I don't mind, oh I don't mind the separating fall. I don't mind, oh I don't mind the separating fall. All right, thanks. So this next song is from the Dream and Sound album. This one's called Will My Feet Still Carry Me Home? And yeah, this song and a couple of our other songs are being used on the new season of this show on Hulu called Cruel Summer. Has anybody seen it? Any good? All right. We've been kind of polling people. We haven't seen it yet. You just said it's just all right? Just all right. Awesome? You think it's awesome? The music's awesome. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, okay. Fair enough.
Fair assessment.
Nothing left to fill my right, thanks. So we put out a new album last year called Artificial Countryside. We're going to play a couple more songs from that. This is the first song on that album. This one's called Undigested Parts. Reveling on the way out of the house, chewing up the food inside your mouth. The shadows forming into piles on the ground. Walking in the heat all the way to school, sweating in the street with all the other fools. Another day of being punished by the crowd. Amalgamations of everything left behind. Enclose the area, kept all of it inside. Spitting out fragments, all the undigested parts. Fake simulations in a mirror in the dark. Getting locked out from the other side, felt the limitations of the design. Held by the barrier, unable to go through. Slowly pulled off from the outer lair, fading like a dream in the open air. Evaporating from the pool in which it grew. Ideas regenerated, bound along the climb. Events occurred and then they disappeared from sight. Spitting out fragments, all the undigested parts. Still felt the beating of the artificial heart. Undiscovered in crevices waiting, discarded off to the side. Eaten up in the bodies of strangers, wandering off into the night. Shadows of the motions invent the day, covering a crowd that had turned away. Like a celebrity, unnoticed in disguise. Everything existing becoming new, getting realigned to another view. Relive the memory that grew old and survived. Amalgamations of everything left behind. Enclosed the area, kept all of it inside. Spitting out fragments, all the undigested parts. Fake simulations in a mirror in the dark. All right, thanks. All right, thank you, folks. Here's another song off our new album, which you can purchase on LP or CD right over there if you want to. This one's called Filming the Sequel Before All the Actors Die. Swept all the dirt away, put the new shoes on, made creatures out of clay. Pictures were drawn, ignored the anniversary, forgot what day it was, saw the movie on TV, laughed at the fake blood, tasting the fumes through the window pane slightly, turned down the town in the video game. Rain falling in the streets and out in the yard, coming through the open window of the parked car. Wrote the words on paper move back and forth between two different minds. Across the universe, the stars all shining, lighting the path as you drive away, slowing down at the end of the street. Spill the coffee onto your bare feet. Two cars approaching, you see them getting near. Turned off the radio, silence appeared. Pulled from the wreckage from which no one else survived. Reverse the film strip and they're coming back to life. Wrote the words on paper, then memorized. Filming the sequel before all the actors died. Tasting the fumes through the window pane slightly. Burn down the town in the video game. Across the universe, the stars all shining, lighting the path as you drive away. Was a desperate touch, and I don't remember much. Two blurry images are trudging through the leaves. In the branches of the trees, they were easier to see. It's a sad place to be, but at least I feel the breeze when the wrecking comes. He'll kiss me there to send me home to be a memory. And as I find my way back home, maybe you'll think of me. Someone had to leave behind. It was loved another time. It was left for me to find. No more false memories now to sing to you today. This was aching on my mind. This has left me open wide. It's a sad way to be. Just my bones inside of me. When the wrecking comes, he'll kiss me there to send me home. them all. To the past, and millions crawl, calling from another place where the ancient memories away. Don't let them fade. The everlasting scream is on the way. Same spirits over me that pull from underneath. Can you hear just what they say? Calling out to you so far away. Don't let them fade. The everlasting scream is on the way. Still lying in the dark, far away from where you are, calling from another place where the ancient memories away. Don't let them fade. The everlasting scream is on the way. The everlasting scream is on the way. All right, thanks so much.
Yo, give it up for Elf Power. Can you believe that? First time in town. So glad to make that happen. We did it. Before we go, I'm going to do a little bit of an interview here with Mr. Rieger of Elf Power. First time and only, first time meeting face to face. This is really a special day.
We've been internet friends and phone friends for a couple years, but nice to meet you in real life.
Likewise. This is also the first tour in some time because of last time I interviewed you, we were both in lockdown.
Yeah.
Thinking like it'd be nice someday.
Yeah, we actually did a tour last summer as well. That was our first COVID era tour that went well. So we've been venturing out a bit in the last couple years.
Right on.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest show you've played on this tour up to today?
The weirdest show that we played was in a town called Bisbee, Arizona. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's kind of a weird little hippie town. That was just a kind of a bizarre show. We just had a day off, and a friend suggested we play there, and it was fun. The show wasn't particularly great, but the vibe of the town was just really weird and cool, and so yeah, we're glad that we did it. It's just kind of a strange little town.
Nice. Well, were the people good?
Yeah, they were great. The venue was nice, and the place called The Quarry. This woman, Dana, runs this great restaurant and club there, but not a whole lot of people at the show, but it was fun.
Cool. So, Artificial Countrysides.
Yeah, that's the latest album.
It sounds really killer live.
Thanks.
I gotta say.
Thank you.
This is my first time experiencing most of these songs live.
Yeah.
Any of them, really. And I really love the group that you brought together. So these guys have all been in the family.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yep.
On some records.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter has been with us for many years playing the drums. Dave's been off and on with the band since the beginning. Neil played with us 20 years ago on the Creatures album and then took a 20-year break and then came back. So, nice. Yeah, everybody's... we kind of have a rotating cast sometimes, but yeah, got a good group crew on this tour.
I can't believe Creatures is 20 years.
Yep. Yeah, it's an older one for sure.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I thought it was new just
No.
the other day.
Nope.
But I think it's standing up really well.
Yeah.
You got so Elf Powers. Have you turned 30 yet?
The
As a
band, let's see. We started in 94, so not quite.
Okay, almost.
Yeah.
Is there a big birthday party planned?
We were thinking of having a show where all the past members come and play. I mean, there's like 30 plus people that have played in the band over the years, most of whom are still alive. So, yeah, we might do that.
The whole orchestra?
Yeah, well, we might just kind of get people kind of off and on to play on songs that they played on. I don't know if we'll be able to orchestrate such an event, but it's a fantasy of mine.
I think it's worth a try.
Yeah.
I did a 10-year band anniversary, and we did that sort of thing.
Okay.
Where we played all the albums.
Yeah.
And then all the people who played, most of them were able to come reprise their role.
Cool.
So, yeah. It's worth it if you could pull it off.
Yeah.
Also, an endurance test. Do you think you would have to play all the albums over the course of a weekend? Would you want
I
to?
mean, I think we'd just play a couple songs from each one, not the entire albums.
Not a completist over here.
Yeah.
No.
I know Sparks did that in London, where they played all 32 of their albums in a row, one day after the other. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rehearsing that would be quite an undertaking.
Yeah.
You got a long early drive tomorrow too.
Yep, playing in Boise tomorrow, which is very far. Plus, we lose an hour, so we'll be getting up early tomorrow.
You gonna get that hour back? You think?
We'll see, maybe.
Are you ever driving and like out in the horizon, you start to see a mirage or like a pink rhinoceros slowly jumping over the road? Or
I haven't seen a pink rhinoceros yet, no. But sometimes you do. If you've been driving for 10 hours, you do see some visual hallucinations of some sort.
I only see that one like during sunrise if I've been driving all night.
Yeah.
And the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you see him, tell him I said hi.
All right, will do.
Thank you so much for coming. I know you guys have a long history of passing through.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice to bring you home.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally made it. Thanks for coming, everybody.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
You've been listening to Low Profile in the first of 9 live episodes for this season, recorded at Scherler Sundays in Olympia, Washington. Scherler Sundays is happening every Sunday through August 13th, featuring upcoming performances from The Gift Machine, Kicking Giant, Gun Outfit, Amps for Christ, and lots more. You can find the full schedule at ScherlerBeer.com, and you can tune in next week to hear Jason Traeger filling in for me as host, interviewing the rapper Ralph Rain and the artist Dr. Sleep. Thanks to Old School Pizzeria, San Francisco Street Bakery, Rainy Day Records, and 3 Magnets Brewing Company for their continued This episode was documented by Kefa Crow and Andrew Ebright. Video will also be available of this event later. Thanks to Old School Pizzeria, San Francisco Street Bakery, Rainy Day Records, and 3 Magnets Brewing Company for their continued in-kind support of this series. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you soon.